I don't know how long ago it was, but really, there comes a point where you just give up on ideas. You give up on what you were as a kid. You give up on things that made you different. And for me, you know, through this whole process of like having another injury, being absolutely thrown to the wolves again, it's like you kind of go back to where you started. And for me, I'm kind of just trying to understand what works for me, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get lost in the idea of, you know, and I chose the right path at the start. I chose the safety, the career, the tickets, the qualifications, and everything. So, and I think each version of it has its own conclusion, doesn't it? Like you either live your 20s in a way where you pursue everything you love, and then by the time you're my age, it either works or you don't. And then from there, it's kind of like, oh, well, I'll just go and do something else now. I'm the opposite. I've done everything else. I've qualified, travelled, and fucking seen it all. And now I've worked most jobs. There's not much in the construction game I haven't done. There's not much in the boating world I haven't done. There's not much in the machinery world I haven't done. You know, and like everyone can say, oh, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. And I said, I agree. But really, it's like in 31 years, I've come to the conclusion now that, yeah, I've done everything I can do in a career-wise, and now it's like you've got to go back to the passion. You've got to go back to the stuff you enjoy. And, you know, I sang in school, I played drums, I did so much, and I think DJing was kind of like that little itch that I had to go, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna really go back to DJing, because then, you know, that's hitting the point where I can, you know, be happy about the thing I'm doing. And for so long, money was it. I had to be like, if it's not making me money, it's not doing me any good. And it's just so backwards. Everyone's so money, and that was me. You know, I am the money guy. I love money. I love investing. I love making money. But I think you have to have a different attitude to it. And I read this book. It's called The Psychology of Money, and it says money is an amplifier. It's nothing else. A gun doesn't kill people. People kill people. Money doesn't make you bad. It just amplifies who you are. So if you make more money and you're a bad person, you'll become a worse person. If you make more money and you have good values, good morals, and you're happy to help people, really, like it's not fucking rocket science. Like if the money you're making is doing good, then that will amplify into more good. So I think retrospectively, I'm at the stage where I want to get back to the things I was good at the start. You know, I've always been into athletics. I've always been into kind of trying to be better. And when I was a kid, I was fat. I had no idea what I was doing. And, you know, everyone, I think, from 2000 all up to like 2018, like, was confused on how to do it and how to deal with, realistically, kids like me. You know, and that's only going back, you know, 13 years since I graduated school. Like I know the teachers that I have on Facebook will see this, and they're not part of this. They're not part of the problem. They were more the solution for me. They helped me a lot. And I think, you know, I was told a lot as a kid. I was told that this is what I had to do, this is all you'll be, told. I was never given a chance. And I think that's where, you know, if you scroll through all the people that are on these kind of journeys, they kind of end up being the kid they were. And for so many years, you know, like, I thought that that kid was kind of a bad thing. There was bad elements to him, 100%. He didn't understand as much as I do. But you take the element of what he loved doing and what I'm capable of, that's like bringing two people together and making something really cool. So for me, I'm kind of giving up on the fact of people around me caring, really. Because at the end of the day, at the end of your deathbed, at the end of anything, it's just you. You know, and you can do your best to try and make people care, and they just won't. Because everyone's got a vendetta, don't they? Even I do, really. So, but I'm honest about my vendetta. I'm honest about what I want. I'm honest about how I'm going to handle things. And what I've learned is that the people that are skulking around, telling you, you know, this is how you do it, this is what you should do, you know, if they don't have good intentions for what they're telling you, there's no fucking point in listening to them. I've had to make some big calls in the last 2 months. Move a lot of pieces in my life that I never thought I'd have to move. And those are people, places, things I was going to do. And now that I've done these things, and now that I've shuffled things around, fuck, it feels good. I don't remember the last time I came to the beach by myself. You know, and I think you need to have some level of freedom when you're kind of trying to do what I do. And, you know, people will ask, you know, what's the vision? Well, the vision is legacy for me. It's always been legacy. You know, I was given the best chance in life every day, every week. And and that's where I think the David Goggins stuff really hits me, because I go, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I've never been without food. I've never been abused. I've never been hit, really. Like, you know, the most pain I got was outside of my family. So retrospectively, it's like I'm at the other end. So that's why I believe I have to do and act the way I act, because if I was anyone else with a silver spoon in my mouth, I'd be 200 kilos. I would be an asshole. Or I'd be fit and an asshole and make everyone feel bad for it. And these are the facts, right? For so long we pretend that we're in the right place. I pretended for years. This is the most clarity I've had in fucking forever. I've tried everything. And now it's like, well, you know, you remove the noise, remove the distractions, you know, like and to catalyst it all, me and Mary Jane had a very close relationship. And I'm only saying that because I don't want to get fucking banned from any platforms, and I don't know how I'm going to really talk about this. But, you know, Mary Jane was like the biggest comfort for me, because I believed for so long that it was it. That if I smoked this drug, that I'll be normal. And it's so far from the truth. Like, being normal is shit. It's not right. Like, nothing's normal, is it? You go find a normal rock, go find a normal tree. You know, they're all different. And when you have people in your life that don't push you, you have to reassess what their real goals are. They're pushing themselves and dragging you along the ride, not really elevating you in any other way than when it matters. And that's a hard conversation you need to have with yourself. You need to look around, at the things in your life. And man, I got a few, everyone's got a few vices. You know, hey, shoot me for it. Am I going to be perfect? Am I going to stay off Mary Jane forever? I'll probably have a toke here and there. I can do that. I'm so capable of being able to say no when it matters and being able to say yes when it matters. And that's something I love about me, is that I've never had an addictive personality. I've always had a very good willpower. And I know some people like I talk to, they're like, oh, you know, I can't go back. I'm like, well, that's okay, and that's good you realise that. So yeah, like it's once you start having these hard conversations and you start going, well, what's wrong? Instead of what's right, what's wrong? Because what I find is that everyone wants to talk about what's right. What's good, what's not good should be talked about more. Because really, no one's talking about what's wrong with them. I love it. I love talking about what's wrong. People, and the thing is, everyone's like, oh, you know, it's a hard conversation. It's like, no, it's not. It's just a conversation. Like, people say to me, oh, you're annoying. It's like, okay, why? And it takes people back because they go, oh, you know, I just feel like you're... Well, there we go. I've de-escalated. I've devalued your opinion because you don't even know why. And that's how I think maybe the world gets better, is that we start going, you know, what's wrong? Oh, this is wrong. Okay, why? And they go, oh, I don't know. Cool, well, until you know why, there's nothing really to talk about. And, you know, people will label you. They'll say, oh, poor you. Oh, you know, it's always your fault. Like, yeah, I like it being my fault because I feel responsible. No one wants to be responsible anymore. No one wants to own stuff. They own the mistakes. No one wants to, you know, having a vendetta should be a problem. Being what I am should be the absolute catalyst of how you treat people. Because realistically, I've never met anyone other than a handful of people that treat me the way I treat others. And like me and my mum, we talk about this all the time. You know, how we, you know, no one ever does what we do. And I think that's just a family thing we have. But on top of that, you kind of learn there's truth. Man, the things I've done, my family's done for people that aren't even here anymore. We haven't heard from them for years. They just vanish off the face of the earth. So yeah, I'm going to start doing these more often because, and obviously I'm working through a big life I've lived, and you know, there's going to be a really cool post that I'm planning down the track, but the thing hasn't happened yet for that post to be posted. So once that thing's happened, it's going to be cool. Because now, like for me, I'm just sitting there thinking about ideas of how to express what I've been through and how I'm dealing with it. You know, at the moment, I'm in the most stagnant part of my life, but in like anyone else would be like, oh, you know, what are you doing? It's like I'm doing more than I ever have before because I've got the time, and I've given up. I am not going back to fucking 9 to 5. Like, I see them everywhere. Like, you know, if you have the ability to downgrade your life, downsize, sell the house, sell the cars, sell everything you have, and just have money in the bank and just relax. Like, you know, move in with your parents. Like, if you can do that, if you can downgrade your life far enough that it doesn't matter if you don't work for like 3, 4, 5 months. Like, shit, dude, I've the fucking shit I've done in just 2 months because I've had the time. And that's where it's at. It's not money anymore, it's time. If you don't have the time, you can't do shit. If your business is your time and it's not running itself, basic 101, like if you are the business, right? So for me, I'm sitting here on a beach and I know things are ticking over. I have ads going, I have AIs working for me, and that's fine, right? So for me, if I didn't have the time to come to the beach and sit down and make this video, then fucking what's the point? Because what are people going to remember? They're not going to remember you. You're going to die. You are this. This is you. You're dust, bro. Nothing. It's gone. So for me, I'm like, I want to leave a legacy. I don't want to leave a big bank account for everyone to fight over. And when I do have a big bank account, there will be stipulations on how this account works. And people don't realize you can do that. And I've done enough research into finance. I'm not a financial advisor at all, but I know enough about money and how it works because I've done everything with money. I've made money. I've gone to absolute zero. I've lost money. I've flipped money. I've done who knows what. And for me, it's kind of like money is just a tool. It's not the goal. And I can now refine down the excellence that I'm going to do because it's like, no, it's not about getting rich anymore. It's about changing lives. And if this video affects one person, that's all I care about. And soon I will have the resources to do these professionally. And I'm gonna fucking be a big deal on the internet because no one talks like me. I don't know another Jack. And that's what you need to realize. There's only one fucking you. So I'm not doing much editing at the moment because a good friend of mine who will be my videographer once I have the money, he said to me, you need to get in front of the camera more. And I said, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'm doing it. I'm getting in front of the camera and I'm getting good at this because I want to be good at it. Why not be good at something? And like people can say, you know, what are you good at? It's like, well, I'm good at lots of things, but you know, this is my craft, and I've always been good at talking. I've always been good at making points, and sure, I'll probably contradict myself at some point, like any other imperfect person, and the comments can come. I welcome adversity because I've had it my whole life. There's never ever been a moment where someone's just handed me something, ever. I know like 6 people instantly that have had stuff handed to them. And like everyone's like, oh, you know, I worked for it. I'm like, okay. And you've worked for this thing now, and where's it at? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? For me, my fitness has gotten better. I may be 115 kilos, but I can run a 30-minute 5K. I couldn't do that 2-3 years ago. And it started in 2020. And it takes 6 years. It takes 6 years to then go, right, I'm now losing weight. I'm now focused. You know, I'm looking at my vices and analysing them for what they are. You know, weed was a comfort for me. For many years I believed it for not being, and it only came about in the last like 3 weeks where I've just gone, fuck, why am I not feeling right anymore? And I think divine intervention is a powerful thing. And you know, I don't struggle with withdrawals. I don't struggle with addiction like some people do. So you know, I'm just taking it like, wow, I'm too good at this. And it's not a cocky thing. It's like, fuck, you know, there are some people out there that can't do this easily. But I know there's probably like at least 10,000 of us in the whole world that can go, yeah, I can drop this if I wanted to, then do it. And I think you've got to do it. You know, and I always go back to this story, and I thought about today. I was DJing at a party a while ago, and I was talking to this old guy who I knew. I was talking to him and I said, hey, look, you know, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you know, Jack, I'm getting serious about life. Quitting alcohol, quitting ciggies, quitting weed. And at the time, the sparks were there for me to, like, I was pretty much, you know, dancing around drugs, dancing around drinking like anyone would be, but I wasn't crazy. Like, I wasn't nuts. But, you know, it kind of took me back when a 55-year-old man was telling me the same stuff I was thinking about. I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be 55 and then quit stuff. I don't want to be 55 and then get better. I want to be better now. So, and look, everyone that knows me can say, oh, you know, Beats is dead. Beats was weak. Beats was pathetic. Beats had no real compass. And I've really had to wrestle with that because that was a big identity for me. You know, I really was you know, Beats, you know, like fuck. It was something. But now it's like, well, what's the different version of Beats? It's Borthwick. And I'll always talk about Beats because he is the bitch in me. I know he is. Beats loves to smoke cones. Beats loves to party. Beats loves to not give a fuck and just power through life. But Beats can't be around forever. And that's why I've made this new thing online where it's like I've deleted accounts, I've deleted content. It's, you know, because that's the old me, it's gone. And, you know, I'm not trying to be the next David Goggins. I'm not trying to be some tough guy that, you know, runs 200 miles every year. You know, I'd like to do it at some point in my life. But it's like first things first, you've got to analyse what you're doing and how you're handling it. At the moment, you know, I was doing good with weed. I wasn't doing great. I was doing good. Now it's like, okay, so what if I quit? And it's like a treat, you know. And look, that's just me. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going sober. Like, sobriety is a choice if you can't handle the pressure. I can sit in a room with alcohol and not drink it. I can sit in a room with people smoking weed and not smoke it. If I'm willing to do that, and I'm willing to be that person. But, you know, if there's a reason to do something, if there's a reason to like go, you know what, just let my hair down, you'll smoke the thing, you'll do the drug, and you go, fuck, I don't need this is boring. Because that's what you need to do. You need to go back to the problem. And this is where I think people kind of get things mixed up. They're like, you know, I quit and I don't want to go back. I'm like, well, you should go back and test yourself. If you're not testing yourself, man, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're just sitting there, chilling. There's no real hard thing in your life. I know most of the people in my life don't struggle like I do. I love pain. I enjoy it. I stood in a sauna in Norway once, and the guys that I was with said stop putting more water on there because I was like, more heat, more. And that was when I was fucking beat, bro. Like, I was fat and I loved doing hard things. Now it's like, what if I'm like 85 kilos, 8% BMI? What does that guy do? Like, fuck. And that's where my head goes now. And, you know, I have everything else. I have the knowledge, I have the experience. I just don't have the what I call the physical resume, which is your body. And everyone assesses you for your body. It's true. If a beautiful woman walks in the room, the first thing you're going to do is go to her. If a fit man walks in the room, you know, you're going to talk to him first. Like, there's no, it's just how it works. No one's, unless people know you, and like the world I'm trying to create, people are going to judge me instantly. And I used to grow a beard. I used to just let my hair fucking do whatever it want, you know, because it was funny. And yeah, now it's like, nah. People are assessing you, and then you can give them the knowledge and the information you have, but they're not going to listen to you unless they can see the results. And yeah, it's a hard conversation to have, and that's why, you know, this video is called Choices. That's how I'm viewing this conversation. You have to make choices. Are you going to choose to be comfortable for the rest of your life? Because if you're comfortable, something's going to go wrong. That's the facts. If you're not comfortable and you're struggling every day, you're in some form of physical hardship, you know, you're doing runs, you're sweating, you're hurting, you're doing saunas, you're doing ice baths, like, that's the only discomfort we have. There's fucking nothing left. Like people used to raid people's villages. People would die and wouldn't even know it's the last day. Now we've got medicine, we've got comfortable, we've got cars, we've got all these nice things. Now, if you're comfortable, a curse is coming for you. Comfort creates curses. That's what I believe. And, I did Bible study for 3 years. I have a Cert 3 in Christianity, I'm not a preacher. And anyone on here that wants to say, hey, you need to be careful what you're saying, it's like, no, I've done it. I don't really care anymore. I used to really care about what I'd say, about what I've done. But, I was a full-blown Christian for 7, 8 years. I sang in church. I understood what God was for a long time, read the Bible heaps. And, nothing about what anyone in the Bible gets talked about was comfortable. Moses didn't even see the results. Think about that. 100 years I think it was 100 years in the desert. Jesus did 40 days without food. And there's plenty of other mythological stories about, hardship. Every single one has discomfort. And you can study physiology and all this stuff. You can study mythology and you can study religion. And what you find is they're all basically kind of the same. There has to be a sacrifice. There has to be a problem to solve. And if you have no problems, if your life's all comfortable, something's coming for you. Me, things run from me. Problems come, but they run. I've never had a problem I can't solve. And that's the fact. I've learned that if you're not struggling, struggle will come for you.